I think a lot of people are in this boat. They know how to save money.
Yeah.
They know how to make it. They were saving for it. They knew, okay, I need to invest in something.
Yeah.
But sometimes people just need the strategy and to hear from two experts that then they could make a better informed decision. So that was like one boat where they have the money, they just didn't have the strategy. Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Changing Money. I have my friend Sosi back on. He was on the podcast when we first launched.
Yeah.
And now it's been 2 years,
Dang.
like 2.5.
That's crazy. So much life has changed.
Time goes so fast.
Even like the friendship, like that's actually really cool to think of how close we've gotten in just like 2.5 years.
I know.
It goes fast. Yeah.
So I'm reading a book right now, The Little Money Bible. Have you read it?
No.
Okay. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Super fast read. Have you read a good book lately?
No.
Not since 75 Hard?
Yeah, not since 75 Hard. I read a lot of books on 75 Hard. One of my favorites was actually Integrity.
Like Grit?
Grit. Yeah, with the grit highlighted by Glenn Stearns. It was so freaking good. I mean, this billionaire dude, has gone up and down in my side of the industry throughout the years, has reinvented himself. And he just talked about like all the crap, like getting pregnant at the age of like 14 to, getting out of the East Coast and all the stuff he's done, multiple divorces. I mean, he airs out all the dirty laundry, but it was really good.
I think that's a good point though with entrepreneurship. Like it is about grit.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready for the shit.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit.
Dude, there's so many days you're just like, I just wish I could not right now.
Yeah. Like, can we have one good day?
Yeah, like really, I have to. And then you're like, oh, I got to go to this other one and I got to be energized for that. Like, I do these things when I take my son Everett to school where we start off first doing affirmations. Like I'd be like, hey, are you a good listener or are you strong or whatever? And he'd answer with, yes, I am. And then now what we've done is we still do that at the very end when I'm gonna drop him off, but we'll listen to like motivational YouTube videos on the way. And it was really neat because like it was talking about how there's a difference between mental toughness and motivation. And it's just like, yeah, you can get motivated all you want, but the mental toughness comes in when it is 5 a.m. and you got to do X, Y, Z, or it's 11 o'clock and everything hit the fan and you have a podcast you have to record and you just got to go in ready to go.
Yeah.
No matter what.
A lot of days we're not motivated, but we just have to do it.
Mental toughness, baby.
I think that's why they say success just means we failed and got up one more time than you did.
I haven't heard that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm putting this new quote at my office. We're redecorating and it says, failing doesn't mean you lost. Losing is when you quit. And I was like, yeah that's keep going.
So for those that don't know who Sosi is, you probably do because you follow me on Instagram and you see him whenever we have events. And he is like our lender expert extraordinaire.
Thank you.
So I'd love to just catch people up on the mortgage industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Probably when we recorded, rates were like hella low and everyone was partying.
Yeah.
But now things are a little different.
Rates are in the twos, like. The industry has been really interesting because even like from a loan officer standpoint, we've seen like over 500,000 loan officers, and now I think we have like 100,000 loan officers.
I saw that post yesterday. Was it you that posted it?
I might have. Yeah, it was even shocking to me.
95,000 loan officers are left.
Less than, it's insane to me. And the crazy part is how desperate the last 95 are. Like I was even on the drive here, I was getting emails and complaints because when you run credit for somebody right now, it's like 100 phone calls within 6 hours.
Oh yeah.
It's mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
So there's so much change with that, right? You have a lot of different desperate aspects coming out. But as far as like mortgage as a whole, it's been this aspect of seeing rates went so high that everyone thought, holy crap, prices are just going to drop because no one can afford this. Yet
prices
as higher,
drop.
They didn't because like less people qualified with higher rates, but then there still wasn't enough houses for the less people that qualified. So home prices continue to go up and they've sustained up. There's some areas where like it's still seeing some softening, but nothing that's like you're going to go write your mom about. The big play right now has been strategy. Like strategy has been the biggest piece for all people, whether it's strategy of helping people consolidate debt and get out of debt faster because they're leveraging equity, or strategy with like what we call our max cash flow strategy, where you buy a multi-unit And if you buy it with your child or you buy it for a parent who can't qualify, you can effectively get credit from the seller and have a payment that's like anywhere from $500 to $1,000 cheaper for the first 24 months. Or you just take the credit and you use it to buy down your rate permanently. And now your payment's even lower than it would have been if you got a price reduction. So we're doing a lot of that stuff. I don't know how much in the weeds.
Which is why I think you're the best at what you do, is because you're so good at the strategy part of it. I think that's why we like work well with all of our clients together, because they come to me for the tax strategy and they love you for the mortgage strategy. And something I love is like, if you are thinking of an investment property or even a personal residence, he'll give you like 8-10 different scenarios on like, if you do this, this is your payment. If you do this, this is the rate. Like there's just so many different things. People have no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I'll have some investors reach out to me too, and they'll be like, I just want this, because they've done it so many times. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll just appease it. Like, I'll show you whatever. I'll be like, but just meet with me. And then they finally meet with me. And now I have them in my playing field where I can show them with my tools what is something they should be aware of that maybe they weren't even aware that they should be aware of.
Yeah.
And their jaws just drop. And they're like, oh my gosh, like I've never known this strategy. So it's been really, really neat to be able to show people who are experienced how modern strategies and mortgage math now works, because it's very different than what conventional wisdom says.
Yeah, I think the strategy portion is just so important.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, I mean, probably go to like Bank of America and just think that's their only option. For loans. But back to like the 95,000 loan officers where there were 500,000.
Yeah.
That means you, one of the brave survivors, could have like 5 times the market share, right?
Yeah, the market share is getting crazy. Like even it's been really interesting to just see how much opportunity there still is, right? Even though there's such a far less amount of loan officers, there's still so many people in need, whether they need strategy to be able to buy that next property that they're trying to cash flow with, well, or they're just truly in debt and they need some relief. Or, and this is the worst part that I think, there's so many people who are just like sitting on the fence and they're in a home at like a 2 or 3% interest rate. And they're just going, I'm going to move when I see rates go below 5.875 or 5.5 again, or back into the 4s. And all it is, it's like a frog boiling in water, where they're going to now find themselves having to pay so much more for that house in 2 to 3 years. When if they would have sold it now and bought that house with a lower price point and then refied into that lower rate, their long-term payment would be so much lower. That's the biggest part right now that we're having, like helping a lot of people think through that, because there's a lot of people who are just, whether you're not happy because you don't have the finances you need and you've gotten into some debt issues, or you're not happy because you're not in the dream home you want.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that we're having a lot of conversations with.
So people need to schedule a meeting with you for sure. But speaking of meetings with you, one of my favorite things that we did last year was we launched our Write Off Your Real Estate course, which is a compilation of literally 15 years. Thank you. 15 years of tax strategies that I've seen in real estate and in our course. And then everyone's bonus was that they got to have like a mini mind session with you and I. So we grouped like 12 to 20 people each session, where they got to just tell us a little bit about their scenario and, do they own a personal residence, any investment properties, what their goals are. And it was fun to just like strategize from both of our perspectives. Like, hey, you could do this, this, this. And we had like so many client wins from that.
Yeah, like my favorite part was seeing everybody wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, they'd come in, they'd have 5 minutes and they'd say their whole scenario. And then we just talk through it and be like, okay, so if you say your goal is A, then you can do X, Y, Z. And then I'd say you could do A, B, C. And then even where you're like, no, but D, E, F is better, I'd be like, no, G, H, I. Like, it was really fun to like just like kind of go back and forth on it. But we were able to see so many people like not just take your class, but then implement the things in the class. Like, one of my favorite individuals I've ever spoken with, like she ended up buying multi-units right after she finished her class. It was something that her and her husband were really diligent at in saving. They put themselves in a really good position and they're like, okay, how do we do this? And so they ended up buying multi-units. They're investing in even other syndicates outside of just even the residential, where We're now looking at doing some strategies in NorCal as well with them, and just multiple. There's others where they kind of fit that mold of what I originally said with the sellers who needed to move. They're two young couples where, they're just thinking about like, oh my gosh, like we don't want this house anymore, but we want it to be as a rental and want to do a cost seg on it. And we want to be able to leave this and go qualify for the next one, even though we're self-employed. How do we do this?
Yeah.
And poor guys, like that one was an interesting one because they went with the new build lender, and whether we benefit or not, our value has always been, we'll give good advice. And so we gave them the advice to take to the new build lender. In like the last 2 weeks, the new build lender just completely, crapped the bed.
Yeah.
And it was a really stressful scenario, but we jumped back in, helped them unwind all the stuff. And lo and behold, they're in a really good position now. They close, are super stoked. They'll be looking at a refi in like 2 months. And they're so happy that they have a cash flow asset. They're able to leverage it into the new purchase. And they're going to be seeing that purchase payment reduce just in the next, 2 to 3 months. So it's really neat. People got really fueled up by your class.
Well, for example, like the woman with the multifamily, we'll call her Sally because Sosi didn't want to use first names of people, but I understand. So with them, it's like, I think a lot of people are in this boat. They know how to save money.
Yeah.
They know how to make it. They were saving for it. They knew, okay, I need to invest in something.
Yeah.
But sometimes people just need the strategy side of it and to hear from two experts that then they could make a better informed decision. So that was like one boat where they have the money, they just didn't have the strategy. And then with the young couple, it's like they had less cash, obviously, for investments, but they knew they were sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah.
And they knew that they could create a rental property with their personal residence. They also just needed to know more of like, how much would I save in taxes? How much more cash will I have in my pocket at the end? And so strategizing these things, people don't know what they don't know.
And I think the hard part for me has been, I forget how much people don't know, right? And this goes into money mindset and confidence mindset. Even though like I always excelled in school, like I won all these awards, blah, blah, blah. I still never saw myself as like the smartest. Even now I'd be like, I'm really sharp. I don't consider myself smart. Like I don't do math. Like you'll do math at us at dinner table. I'm like, frick, I need to get my calculator.
I literally did it like 2 nights ago at dinner. We were talking about cash on cash returns
I was like,
on
dude,
investment properties.
You can memorize stuff so well. You can do the math in your head. That's just not my gifting. I love a calculator and I love a software system and I will puzzle piece that thing to death, but I want my tools. So yeah, with that type of mindset, a lot of times I don't think what I know is that special. And then I'd start speaking to clients and, 3 self-employed clients I spoke with just in the last 2 weeks, each one of them said, the last time I spoke to a lender, they only gave me this one option. And then I had to go, empty out investment accounts or I had to get co-borrowers. No one gave me option 2 or 3 for self-employment stuff. And I'm like, shoot, I forget. People don't know. We don't even need to use tax returns.
Right.
We don't even need to use bank statements now. Like there's some programs where like, I just closed a deal in 17 days for an amazing individual in Idaho and it was a no income loan. Now she had to put a big down payment. It's not like one of those weird 2008 stated income loans, but if you have enough qualifications and other compensating factors, like she just didn't want to show anything. She was like, she qualified even with documents. So she was like, I don't like people seeing my stuff. And I was like, well, do you want to do this loan? She goes, yeah. I was like, okay. So there's a lot of those out there.
Yeah. We were just talking about this at dinner a couple nights ago too. It's like the game has changed in lending where it was really hard to get lending as a self-employed business owner. Like we historically show less income.
Yeah.
It's not reliable income or consistent income.
Yeah.
So lenders just never liked it. But it has changed to where there are a lot of lenders out there or banks out there or investors out there that are like, well, I like self-employed people.
Yeah.
And so there's just so many different products. Like you were saying, I don't know if people listening know what a no income or no bank statement loans really mean, but if you want to touch on those.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, and I'll preface with any of those like doomsday are out there. This isn't a 2008 type of scenario because we still have to follow the Ability to Repay Act. So we have to have documentation, being able to show all these pieces for the majority of these loans. You can confirm income and debt. Obviously the debt's confirmed by the credit report. The income though can be confirmed either with your tax returns, which is the traditional loans everyone does. If those don't don't work, you can confirm it off of an average of what your bank deposits are. So if let's say you had a gross sales of $1 million last year and the year before that, 750,000, and all those funds got deposited into a business account, we can use those deposits on average of 24 months or 12 months. And now that's your income. So if your purchasing power with tax returns were you showing 40 grand and now your bank statement income is showing 80 grand, your purchasing power is going to be really different. So that's one example. Another one would be, and one of my favorites is a P&L loan. And all that one is you and your CPA or your tax professional as well, you just write out gross income, all your expenses, whatever the net revenue is, that's your monthly income we can use.
Yeah.
And they're getting to be a lot simpler and well known. But the best part that I like is that the investors are seeing how low risk they are because they're performing so well. And the interest rates are coming very close.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Like they used to be a point apart in rate. Now we're like a quarter sometimes. Like I've even seen some that are better on multifamily. Like I've priced out conventional multifamily and non-QM multifamily. I'm like, we're going bank statement. Like the price is just better.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's really cool to see.
So I'm only doing the Write Off Your Real Estate course once this year. I'm only launching it once. So sign up for the free masterclass. It's on April 16th. So the masterclass will be on the 16th. If you purchase during our launch, you will get, Sosi already agreed that we'll do it again, that you will get a mini mind session with us. So we'll have a 60-minute call with a group of like 12 to 20 of you, and we will go through your specific scenarios and give you lots and lots of different ideas and examples on how you can build your net worth faster, you can get more real estate faster, and it's just like one of our favorite things to do.
Yeah, it makes me feel really good after. Like you just know, like over and over, families have reached out afterwards too. Like I even just had one of your clients just reach out saying thank you. Like that was just really helpful because the advice we gave them, like they didn't have to use us. They just took our information and made their lives better. And that's what we're.
And that's something I love about you too, is like, you'll be like, I'm not the best for this scenario. You maybe need to go to this credit union. And so you are always looking out for.
I'll be your backup.
Yeah.
But like, if they'll take you, that's going to be better terms. Like get it done. Yeah. It always comes around.
You're also going to be the MC this year?
Yeah. Minted Wealth. Is this going to be the thing?
Are you going to do it?
I mean, I just want to make sure you're going to keep that.
Sosi is officially going to be our MC at Minted Wealth Live this year.
It's on my big ass calendar.
Oh, well, that means it's happening.
Yeah, 100%.
So Minted Wealth Live this year, the dates and venue is still pending, but we are thinking, if you want to block it off in your calendar, we are thinking it is November 10th to 12th. And so he will MC the day. All the speakers on day one is going to be all about income and impact. And day two, which I love how you've dubbed it,
Family Office Day.
Family Office Day. So for our strategy clients, you get to come to Family Office Day.
Which was sick last year.
It was so cool.
It was so cool.
Tell them a little bit about it, like, because I'm biased,
So if you don't know what a family office is, this is effectively what like ultra wealthy families have, where they have a series of consultants who are in charge of making their money make money. And so with the strategy clients, Barb was able to have a room full of really well-learned professionals who were just subject matter experts in their own field. So we had financial advisors, we had all the tax planners, we had my team there for the real estate side, and clients went from hub to hub and in one-on-one private custom meetings that lasted like 15 to 20 minutes. I think that day I met with 14 clients and my other partner there met with like 11. It was just insane.
Yeah.
And each one walked away with a true, here's the next steps you could do to be in a better financial position. And, for me, I experienced 4 people who we cried together about their file. Like it was just crazy. Like they were all like super blown away with their own success. And then when we made a game plan to transfer the wealth from them and what they get to enjoy to their children and then their grandchildren in some circumstances, like it was a beautiful thing.
You just make people cry though. It's the past pastor in you. No, but that was really cool to hear their stories after. Yeah. And so we're bringing the family office to the common business owner. Like people don't have to be multi-millionaires to get their shit in order. Like I feel like people actually need to do it when they're worth nothing. Yeah. That way your foundation is solid. So this year last year we had a lot of amazing experts. This year we're bringing in even more. So I know for sure we're bringing in estate planners.
Heck yeah. We were
So-
missing that. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we had an estate attorney speak, but not
She was
at
great.
Family Office Day. So we're for sure going to have a few of them so that everyone foundationally can have the right trusts and wills in place, which is also a bonus when they get the Write Off Your Real Estate course as well. I just got done writing. It took me like the last 10 days. I was like beautiful mining this like trust and
Full mining.
trust and estate mini course. So you will get it when you get Write Off Your Real Estate, because like you have to have your real estate in the correct entities. And
Yeah.
part of that is with trusts and revocable living trusts, as you know.
And
So
that's one thing too that so many people learned even in our mastermind session, of how there are loans out there that are totally cool to trust.
yeah.
They don't care. Or if it's an LLC, like it doesn't have to be a commercial loan to do it. And so it's really neat to be able to show people some of those pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Family Office Day will get your foundation right with the attorneys, obviously us for tax strategy. They meet with our bookkeepers to make sure their financials are right. We'll have financial advisors there
Yeah.
again. Your team, hopefully,
Yeah.
again,
Make sure we're there.
for all of the mortgage side. So we're really excited for Minted Wealth live again
Heck yeah.
this year.
It's going to be rad. Great speakers last year too.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good.
What is like your business goal this year?
I don't want to miss opportunity is my biggest thing. And I think so much in my business, I got so focused on trying to like work on your business and that concept that I kind of like started getting out of the weeds a little too much. And now I'm like, you know what? I want to be back in the dirt. Like, I feel like I'm a little out of touch with even how our business was operating all the way. And so I'm like, I want to be in the pavement. Like this year, I want to go back in and go, I built something big. Now I want to go back and just check the foundation, see like what got cracked. Like even in our home, like we reconstructed our house and it looks absolutely beautiful. We've lived in it for 4 years and now we're looking at selling it. I'm like walking around the house going, when the hell did that crack? Who like dropped something on this floorboard and like dented it? Like this paint is already faded. Like what the heck? So I feel like there's seasons in business where you do build something beautiful, even though we've all kind of gone through the same pieces. Like you want to be in a position where you're working on your business. Sometimes that working on and not in means you go in for a season. You
Yeah.
have like an unbalanced season of going back into the weeds and just being in the grind. So this year I'm going really hardcore there. So a lot of the meetings with me are actually with me right now. My team is available too, but I'm really loving talking to clients and like seeing their stories and helping them with these strategies and then thinking of new ones. Because now the one thing about social, right? And the thing I love about it is if you stand by the statement that your delivery is your copyright and you just give the information out on social, people learn from you and then they take your advice and use it. And so if you truly believe that like you are just better as a whole, when you're equipping your competition with information, then they use it, you just got to keep stepping up.
Yeah.
So like going back in the weeds for me right now, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I would think. But now thinking about it even further and now being exposed with other pros like you and learning everything I've learned from you, I'm like, oh, now I even see this. And it's been really, really fun. So this year is hyper focus on leveling up by going back to the level ground.
Yeah, same with us too. Like you even mentioned, you're like, your social looks different. I'm like, yeah, because I actually have had client meetings lately. Like all of December last year, I met with clients and I hadn't done that in years.
Yeah.
Like it was all my team, but I just like randomly decided to offer one-on-one client meetings, and you're reminded
Yeah.
a lot of your clients' issues.
Yep.
You're reminded of like the struggles they're having at this season in business, because it's different than it was 2 years ago, 3
Yeah.
years ago, 4 years ago during COVID. And you also just like have new content too, because you have new stories to tell.
Yeah.
You're reminded of the things people don't know again.
Yeah.
So it's like we still have people asking like, what is a write-off?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, really, like even now, but I'm just in it every day. So it's
Yeah.
like hard to see that. So yeah, same with us. We even just started, we start it next week, but I'm doing a monthly mini mind session with all the strategy
yeah.
clients every month,
That's dope.
because I'm like, I miss talking with all the clients.
Yeah.
And there are some I don't even know, I've never met.
Yeah.
So I do think it's important that, yes, you can like build this great business and have a huge team and all the things, but
Yeah.
you got to have good touch points.
And it's refreshing as a human being, at least for me, and it just might be my personality, but to like go into other stages of life that you're just so unaware of because it's not your stage. Like talking to people who are looking at retirement And we're identifying like, hey, how do we get through the next 15 years in a way that's going to be comfortable and not stressful, especially if life happens and somebody gets hurt, they break a hip, like all that stuff. And then you talk to people who we're in escrow right now, and a client just got induced into labor today. So it's just like, like having babies. And then literally yesterday, I'm talking to an elderly couple in their 70s. We're looking at selling their property and taking their cash and trying to either buy with a reverse or buy a manufactured cash property. Like it's just the whole spectrum there. And then you talk to people who are going through divorces or they're looking at going divorces, and you start realizing where your advice really makes a difference. And because I know both of us are strategy, it's in the prudence piece. And so it's like talking to people 6 months before they even do anything and showing them what you need to know, like do a credit run, like see what's there, do a tax lien to see if, or do any lien check to see if there's any liens on the property before you go fight about a property that you might not actually have as much equity as you thought you had.
Yeah.
Like all that kind of stuff. It's been really interesting now just doing 3 or 4 meetings of clients a day and seeing in their different seasons of life going, wow, there's a lot to this. Then it makes you proud too to be like, man, we got a lot of information we can help people with.
Yeah.
Good thing you put it in a master class.
Well, don't forget to sign up for the masterclass. It's on April 16th. The link will be in the show notes. And where can everyone find you? Because they all need your expertise.
Yeah. If you guys want to follow me, you can go to Mortgages with Sosi on Instagram. All my links are there too, to my YouTube and all my other pieces. Love to be able to connect with you guys there.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah, my pleasure.